Need to come off mute first while I'm talking. Hello, everybody. Welcome, affirmers. Welcome back to another episode from the AM Affirmation Space podcast. We are so excited to be here with you all. We have a treat for you today. We have a treat. I don't know, my tongue seems to be lazy today or something. We have a treat for you today, and I'm so excited about it. But before we get to that, allow me rather to introduce my beautiful guest, Miss Marcy, sitting up here with this red lipstick on. Girl, I ain't mad at you at all. At all. Miss Marcy of Marcy Moments is my co-host. She can be found on all the platforms. Miss Marcy has a week, just about every weekday. She comes out and shares some amazing gems with her community. Make sure you follow her on IG and Facebook so that you can get some of those gems. And also join her on Thursday for the Thursday Therapy podcast. All things therapy. All things therapy. Her and her co-hosts that are there share such amazing information that absolutely help us as a community and individually to be better with our mental health. Then from there, we have the beautiful, the amazing, the fantastic Miss Clivia of hashtag Her Chosen Story with Clivia. She is a book editor. She is a podcaster. She has a show on Spotify. She is a mentor. She's a mommy. She is, you all. Make sure you follow her as well on all the platforms you can find her. My name is Karan Fairweather. I am known as the Affirmation Whisperer, which this space and the other space was born out of because I believe in speaking well about myself. And I've been sharing that message forever of the importance of us speaking well. So I too can be found on all the socials at Karan Fairweather. Look me up. See what I got a new book out, y'all, called Go Be Great. I had to think for a second because I have three books.
So many books.
Right?
I ain't mad at you.
I have three books out, but the most recent one is Go Be Great, 100 Affirmations for High School Graduates. And we're in that season right now. Visit me on all the socials. There's a link there where you can get your copy of the book. And now with all of that out of the way, I want to welcome you guys back for the final episode in our Holistic Living series that's being hosted by Miss Clivia. But I'm going to introduce our special guest today. And I'm going to read because I don't know her that well. I just met her not too long ago. So I want to make sure I get this right. So her company is called Birdy's Garden. Now, Birdy is her mom, right? But her name is Winsome Clarke. Winsome is the owner and operator of Birdy's Garden, which is an online site where you can get all kind of goodies. I'm not going to tell you what they are right now. I'm going to let her share them. But let me share a little bit about her company. Over 80 years of brewing products that she has. Birdy's Garden was established in 1942 in St. James, Jamaica. Y'all love it. Birdy grew up understanding all the health benefits of eating from nature and incorporating herbs in every meal. What is known as loose leaf teas. I wasn't supposed to give that away, but anyway, loose leaf teas today were called bush tea back then. Oh, I didn't even know that. That's something new. Whenever she wanted tea, she would walk outside into her family yard, grab herbs and spices, and use them to make tea. What? Oh, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this conversation. So without further delay, we're going to give this over to Miss Clivia so she can welcome Miss Winsome onto the stage.
Well, I would pass the mantle. So let us bring Miss Winsome up to the stage. I met her, I want to say 2.5 years ago at a local farmer's market. And I think I bought, could have been some tea. I know exactly what it was. It was blackberries. And they were so good because they were handpicked. So Winsome, welcome to AM Affirmation Space, where we speak nicely to ourselves. The conversation that we've been having over the past 3 weeks have been holistic, healthy living. And today our topic is growing your own organic greens, but we're adding fruits and we're adding herbs and all the other things that we can grow organically. So welcome, introduce yourself and tell us a little more about you.
Hello, thank you for having me. So yes, I'm Winsome with Birdy's Garden. I sell custom loose leaf tea. as well as seasoning. With my seasoning, there's no salt in it. The main reason is because my father, he had a heart issue, so he had to cut out all salts in his meals. So we emphasized on his meals using more herbs. And what I learned through that is how the herbs can heal the body and help us live a long life. So with me, I have family that they're 80 plus years old. They have their mind, they have their body, and it's all due to nutrition. How what they ate when they were younger, them staying active as they got older. So I decided to create Birdy's Garden in homage of my ancestors, basically because I know the importance of good nutrition, healthy foods, and everything.
I love that. And I know we spoke a little earlier where you shared, being of Jamaican heritage. I'm from Trinidad originally, so I definitely understand what it is to just go outside and get the greens. I remember when I took my daughter for the first time, she has eczema, and my uncle, all he did was went to some bushes. He was like, "Oh, I know what could heal her." He pulled some bushes. It was called St. John bush. He boiled it. It turned red, and he soaked her in water. And in 2 days, her skin was clear.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we don't have that. And I'm also from New York, grew up in New York, now in Florida, but we don't have the luxury. So tell us what it is to experience that firsthand, and then yeah.
What experience? Can you repeat the
In
question? I'm
regards
sorry.
to grabbing the bush, and whether it's making tea, or you
Yeah,
mentioned your dad. Yeah, what
yeah.
was that like firsthand?
Well, growing up, I hated it because I wanted stuff from the store. I didn't want iced tea from the herbs in my mother's garden. I wanted soda. I didn't want homemade ice cream. I wanted ice cream from Mr. Softy. So as I became a mom, and my son, he had issues with headaches. When my mom told me to go get him some ginger tea, get some ginger and mint, let him drink it, and I saw how just that natural way of just using what God has given us can heal the body. Um, in 2020, COVID hit, where I'm sitting at home, and it's like, what who is Winsome? What is my passion? I had that year to really think about my purpose, and so I realized that in the stores, you know they have their teas, but the health benefits of the teas aren't in there. They put artificial coloring, artificial flavors. They make the tea smell good, but it's not good for you. So
Yeah.
I decided to start Birdy's Garden because I know the importance of proper nutrition, herbs, teas, fruits with seeds, all of that. So that's how I came to have Birdy's Garden. I want to share with everyone, the importance of eating right.
I love that. I
I
love
love
that.
that. If you had to, I mean, I was looking at your website earlier, and I'm very interested in what you offer. And I will share your website shortly so that our affirmers, our guests, our community can go to your website to see that as well. There it is, right there on the screen. Visit her website because you will be impressed with the amount of loose teas that she has out there. So my question would be, what would you tell our community is the biggest benefit, besides what you've already said, to eating from the earth, instead of buying it from the store?
Well, the biggest benefit is that what's at the store has side effects. Um, and what comes from nature does not. I mean, well, if you have health issues, it can, go against it. But what's natural doesn't have the amount of side effects as what's in the stores. When they when they when they give us things like Tylenol, whether you have a headache or you have a fever, and you take Tylenol, if you would get certain herbs like rosemary, mint, turmeric, brew it together and drink it. You know, give your body the tools that it needs to heal itself. And long term, you won't have to be stuck on the medication that has side effects that you're now taking medication to combat
Hmm.
against. So that's the biggest thing. Is like if you grow your own food, you know where it's coming from, the process, there's nothing on it, and the health benefits for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I'm not gonna hog up all the time, just in case my other hosts have some questions too. So I'll pass it on to Marcy. Miss Marcy, you
Yeah.
had a question for Miss Birdy?
So I'm looking at the website even now. Um, so I started off. I saw some loose teas that I must get. Question: do you have a butterfly PT?
No, so my teas, they're all custom blends. So I don't have like a specific tea because they're all just like my brand of tea. But I
Okay.
do make custom teas. So if you see different herbs that I have that you want me to mix together to make your own custom tea, I can do that too.
That's
That's
nice.
awesome. That's
I like
awesome.
that. And also, where are you located?
Well, I'm in Sanford, Florida.
Okay. So do you ship?
Yes, I ship anywhere in the world.
Uh,
And
Okay.
also whenever you place an order with me, I harvest everything at the time of your order and mail it to you within a week. So there's nothing like sitting on the shelf, for 2, 3 months and then
Right.
you get it. Everything is made fresh.
I'm excited. So I see it's the tea, the
Hmm.
seasonings. Oh, your fruit. And
Yes.
is it how many do you get? Because I see the sour sop is sold out. Do you have any
Ooh.
more? Do you have any more?
Ooh,
Tell
Karen.
me in my ear just real softly.
Well, the sour sop, that's seasonal, so that's available like in the latter part of summer. That's when it's ready.
Okay.
So with my fruit, I pick them at harvest time. So like mango season here in the States, it's really in the summertime. So when you have the mangoes in the store, they're not from here. They're from another country. So you just have to look into the process of how they grew the mangoes to where it's
Right.
available. It's been available since like February, which to me is odd, but you got to be careful with that also. But mango season's in June, so just know that you can go to my website. I harvest the mangoes the day before I ship them to you, and you get it within 5 days.
Oh, yes. I love me a mango. Um, so I'm excited. Olivia, do you
Yes,
We're all like,
like soursop.
ooh,
She said soursop. Like, yes, please, and thank you. Where can I order? Let me go to the website and order right now.
yeah, I mean, let
But,
me
what when you're out of stock and someone is your website updated to show that it's out of stock, or do you let us know it's out of stock when someone places an order? What does that look like? Because I know with it being
Mhm.
seasonal and you harvest it as you get orders, that there may be a chance of being out of stock. What does that look like?
Yeah, so certain things that's not in season, it shows out of stock. Like
Okay.
the
oh, okay.
oranges and the lemons. I just finished with my strawberry onions, so that's out of stock. Um, in when I'm ready to sell the June plum, the soursop, and the mangoes, I'll actually open up for pre-ordering. But once I'm no longer harvesting it, I load it on my page that it's out of stock.
Oh, okay.
So, is it if it, on your website? Is there a way to join your email list so we know when something's in stock? How do your clients, your customers, get notified about something that the June? I mean, I might want that, but it's not.
Uh,
If you don't have it, it's out of stock. So, how do you notify them? Because I'm telling you, people are going to listen to this
mm,
and you're getting some interest here. So, I just want to
mm.
put the question out there so that people are aware of what that looks like.
Well, you can subscribe or add your email to my webpage so you can receive notifications via email. But also, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I'm always uploading when things are growing in my garden and when it will be available as well.
So speaking of social media, how can they find you on the three big ones: Facebook, IG, and TikTok if you're there?
Yeah, so TikTok and IG, it's Birdy_garden, and on Facebook, it's Birdy42.
Okay. Okay. So all right, y'all. Make sure y'all wrote that down so you can go and check out her on the socials. So um me myself, I'm a huge advocate for fruits with seeds. And I'd
Hmm.
like to hear
oh
your
yeah.
take on that. What's your thought on fruits with seeds versus, or vegetables, or any type of produce with seeds versus
With
not having seeds? What's your
yeah.
thought?
Well, any things like grapes,
Bless you.
Excuse me.
oranges, lemons, things that we grew up with that had seeds and does not have seeds right now, that's intentional. Because the seed, just think that the seed is like a vitamin. So as you're eating the fruit, if you don't have the seed that's attached to that fruit, you're missing out on that nutrient that you're supposed to have in your body. So
Mhm.
anything without seeds, it's to me it's a red flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially
Yeah.
grapes with no seeds, the way that it's natural now. It's like, why are they removing the seeds? That's the big question.
Right.
Why are they
Okay.
removing
We're
the
not
seeds?
doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all.
Yeah.
So what grape is in season now?
Um, I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what grape, but I know like here, like I have a grapevine on my property, so I know that um, grapes are in season now,
Yeah.
like right now. But the main thing is that it doesn't even matter if it's January, December, November, June. If there's no seed in the fruit, that's the issue.
Then you
Because
can't
like
reproduce. Yeah.
right, yeah, and it's like why are they taking the seeds out of our fruit? That's the extra step
Mhm.
that they're doing, and the question is why. And it's really so that in the long term we're stuck on the pill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
I
science behind it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I won't buy seedless grapes. I buy those globe grapes that have seeds in them. And
Mm.
yeah, my one of my family members said, "Then you got to spit the seeds out." I said, "Okay, and
Right.
What's wrong with those seeds?
Hmm.
right." When we were kids, we didn't have seedless grapes.
Yeah.
We had grapes only with seeds. It
Hmm.
wasn't a problem there, but we didn't got all solidified and
Hmm.
citified that we want to go buy the grapes that don't have seeds, so you don't have to spit the seeds out. But I agree with you that with the seeds being missing, the fruit is void of nutrients that only seeds
Hmm.
will provide. So I love that you have a foundation of things that have seeds, and then fruits that are seasonal. Now I've heard people say where it's seasonal somewhere. Tell me
Hmm.
what your thoughts are about that. Like say mangoes might be seasonal somewhere else and they're being shipped in. What's your thought about that?
Um, since I grow the mango, um, I I wait till I know it's the season. Um, so even though if it comes from another country, it could be just it could be fine, but just because of um what I know I get out of having the fresh fruit, I don't buy it.
Gotcha, gotcha. So I'm guilty. I just bought
Hmm.
some mangoes just the other day,
Hmm.
and they were all nice, red and orange, and not too hard and soft. And I ate a couple of them; they were fine. And I thought about it. I said, "Well, they're not quite because my mom in Florida has a mango tree in her backyard, and it's very finicky. It'll bear fruit one year and not the next year, so on and so forth. But
Hmm.
I'm like, her tree is not even showing any signs yet of fruit of mangoes. So I'm wondering, okay, well, where do these mangoes come from? They still have the seed in them, but where do they come from? How come they look so beautiful when we don't have any here in Florida? So I have thoughts like that, but I still bought them anyway. So my bad. But I'm thinking that it's something that as part of our series, the Holistic Healthy Living series, we be remiss not to talk about food
Hmm.
because our nutrition is a part of that holistic living as well.
Hmm.
So hearing you say the things you've said so far, which absolutely align with my way of thinking during the pandemic, and then yeah, during the pandemic, it was an interesting time for all of us. But to hear
Hmm.
that you seize that opportunity to start your business with your based on what your family has always done, it's not like you had to learn about it because it's in your genes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All about them. So for you to take your knowledge and harvest your own vegetables, your own fruit, and your leaves, your custom made teas.
Hmm.
Yes, please and thank you. I'm thinking right now of a custom that I might need to order from you because understanding the medicinal properties that exist in teas. Like
Hmm.
the headache, yeah. If you drink the right tea or a combination of teas, you can alleviate it. Most times it might be your blood pressure might be up that's causing that headache. So you just need to bring your blood pressure down with something natural and not medication. So I believe that having this theory, this not theory, the belief you have behind what you do really does authenticate, if you will, what you're
Hmm.
doing. This is not some hobby you picked up. You grew up with
Hmm.
here. You said you didn't want the homemade ice cream. You wanted the
Hmm.
chocolate from down the street. Yes,
Yeah.
I know about that. So, but it's very encouraging to know that not only are you a woman, you're a black woman out
Hmm.
here making it happen in these streets. So let me, girl, I could talk about this forever. Let me release the mic to one of Clivia or Marcy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it all. And I mean, even when we met at the farmer's market, that was the question of, having the customized tea. And it's been a struggle with my daughter just trying certain things. Oh, it doesn't taste sweet. It's not, this enough. And, I think you advised me to blend the blueberry in something that she was needing, and it worked, you know. And what tea would you recommend? We were talking in a previous episode the importance of rest, right? Because we want to live long, and we are going to live long. But what type of tea would you recommend for someone that might have trouble resting, or they work so hard that they need something to really calm their body down? What would that look like?
Well, any of my teas are good for that, but mint, I say mint and ginger or rosemary,
Okay.
rosemary and mint. That helps to relax you and helps you sleep.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And we talked about we have some knee pains in the room.
Mhm.
What would that, and you know, again, it's always finding the source of why do we have this pain. We might think it's something else, but it might be something else, right? Maybe inflammation. Again, we know that. And just to make a disclaimer, we know that you're not, and maybe you are,
Yes.
but maybe you're not a medical doctor, but we know that these things work. And that's why it's important to, if you are living in a state, I don't know for Marcy, who's up north, but to live in a state where you can grow these things all year round, it's a beautiful thing. So
Mhm.
what would that look like if, again, we're ordering from you, but for those knee pains or those headaches and those type of issues that we deal with?
Um, well, as you stated, I'm not a medical professional, but based on my experience, like my mother is 80, she's 80 plus right now. And when her arthritis kicks in her knees or in her elbows, what she does is she blends out aloe and she drinks it. Now
Mm,
it tastes awful, but
yeah,
she
bitter.
drinks it because she's against taking medication when she could just take something that's natural. But that decreases the inflammations like instantly to her knees or to her joints. Um,
You
but
said
with
that?
any aloe, like if you take the aloe, just blend it out, even with the skin, just blend it out
Really?
and just drink it.
Marcy, we on it?
Yeah, I'll go get me an aloe. I'm a hop to go get one.
Yeah, yeah. In the stores, I was in Walmart the other day and they have aloe vera water, and I just laughed when I passed by it because you could just grow aloe and just make your own water. You don't have to buy it from the store.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, so there's
Easy.
certain things that they have in our face, but it's like they want you to buy and spend your money when you could just grow and save your money.
Yeah.
You know
So
what?
with the aloe, I'm
Hmm.
sorry, with the aloe, so you just take the actual leaf, the skin and all, and kind of blend it.
Yeah, like if you have a like a ninja, just blend it out, add some water to it so it can be diluted, and then just drink it.
Mhm.
Oh,
Wow.
Mhm.
That's
I
really good.
remember growing up, aloe would be used for so many things:
Mm-hmm.
acne, burns,
Mm-hmm.
to
Hair.
tone your skin up for your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Mm-hmm.
right outside the door. It was right outside the back door. And
Yeah.
when I saw aloe vera, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I pay $8 for that when I have it in my backyard, right? But my producer just made a huge point that, and someone else said this to me many, many years ago, that Americans are lazy people. They're lazy. They don't want to go in the backyard and peel it and put it in the blender and sit and squeeze it out, or they don't want to do all that. They just want to go to the store, pick it up, and then consume it. But I'm thinking, okay, but why? And it's also a lot to do with how people were raised. I too was raised with a grandmother who had collard greens in her backyard, green beans in her backyard, all kinds of vegetables in the backyard. She didn't go to the grocery store to
Mm-hmm.
get her greens for Thanksgiving. She would go to the backyard to get her
Mm-hmm.
greens because she grew them. She know what she put on them, right? Pesticides and all that. She was like, no, we don't need all that. Just put this plant with that plant, and you don't have to worry about the insects eating up it, because that's a natural way of warding off the insects. Who knew? I didn't, but she
Mm-hmm.
knew, and she passed all that knowledge down. Our producer says, plus, not all soil is good soil. So what used to thrive in our backyards don't anymore. Depends on where you live. Absolutely, not everyone has a backyard. That's true. That's
me
true.
too. Because
But
I'm in the city
look,
in
that's why
DC.
we got to seek out people like Winsome,
Yes.
because we're in the city. We seek out people like Winsome or order directly from her, so that, because we all don't have good soil, right? We might
Yeah.
have. without us knowing it, we have a backyard that used to be a chemical site. We don't know anything about it because, it looks so nice and pretty. It looks nice. Never mind what used to be here. It's okay that chemicals in the ground. It's okay. It looks pretty, right? That speaks to our mindset, right? So seeking out people who have a holistic approach to living, eating, all things holistic, I think is important for our holistic living and existence. Because come on now, with all this land being bought up by particular individuals, but not what you think. I mean, come on now. We got to really think about how we're living, because no matter what's going on around us, no matter the noise, no matter the chaos, we are in absolute control of what choices we make for ourselves.
Yeah.
Even when it comes down to the food you eat. Now, if you don't want to go to the farmers market and look for your fruit and get to know the local farmers, then there she is right there. You can order from her website. There are others just like her that you can order from their website. But being more conscious of what we're doing, I think, is essential to our vitality. Your mom is 80 plus, still has her right mind about her. She's not putting the chemicals in her. She's going to her backyard and getting her aloe blended up, put some water with it, and sip on it. Aloes taste disgusting. But you know what? I learned this from someone before, that when you taste stuff that don't taste so sweet, because our tongues are so trained to be sweet, it tastes like healing.
Exactly.
It tastes like healing. That's what it is, because that's what it's going to do for your body. Those herbs are going to go right to where it needs to go to take care of you. Now, of course, if you got some health issues, you might need some extras. But if you just making poor choices and you just need to turn them around, those herbs will meet you right where you are. When I say they will meet you right, am I right, Miss Winsome? They
Yes,
will meet
definitely.
you right where you are, right?
Yes.
But you got to make the effort to consume them. So knowing that you will have a website where we can go and get those loose teas, give us a sample of what loose teas you have available, so our listening audience can go and check out more.
All right. Well, again, they're custom blends. So I have a couple that, if you love ginger, well, I do have to say that with my teas, it doesn't taste like any specific thing. It's a blend.
Okay.
So like I have two teas that have ginger in it. It's my Vervain ginger medley that has lemongrass, mint. It has lemon bay rum, Jamaican mint, and
Marcy
Vervain.
heard wrong.
What we said? Oh, no alcohol, no alcohol. But in that one it has Vervain. So during
What is
COVID,
vervain?
Vervain, it's a plant. Here in the South they have it as landscape, like landscape plants. But during COVID, a lot of people were buying up the Vervain because what the Vervain does. And again, I'm not a medical professional, so as you use, or as you take the teas, you just have to see how it works with your body. But with the Vervain, it controlled the side effects of COVID to allow your body to heal, to fight. So that's one of my favorite. I also have one that's Jazzy Medley. It has fig leaves in it, rosemary, ginger. Um, what else in there? Um, Mango leaves. Um, so I just have a variety of different teas. Um,
I love it. I love
I
it.
love that. I actually love how passionate you are. And I mean, we did share that 2020, we know that it was a tough year, and you sat there and thought, what can I do? Like Karen always say the words, there has to be more, right? There has
Yeah.
to be more. And you allowed your gifts to make room for you. And now here you are on this platform sharing that gift of the importance of growing your own. And for years I said I have a yellow thumb, but I think I've been doing pretty good. Right now I'm growing a collard green in a pot. I have some aloe. So I'm really proud of myself, ladies. It's been going good. So I'm honored to really have you here to share all of this.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here with us, Winston. You don't have to leave right now, but we're gonna read a few, Clivia's gonna read rather a few points, and we're gonna kind of intertwine those points that we're gonna make with you, Winston. So we're gonna highlight you a little bit more here. So take it away, Clivia.
All right. So the first we have, I believe it's three sets. So this is benefits of organic eating. Higher nutritional content. Organic produce often contains higher levels of certain nutrients, including antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals compared to conventionally grown fruits. And I know we talked about the seedless grapes. For me, it just never made sense, right?
Mhm.
So we know that even eating the skin of some of these things or all of these things, because it came from the earth, are good for us, right? So higher nutritional content. And you can jump in if you like, Winsome.
Okay.
Another benefit is reduced chemical exposure. Consuming organic foods minimizes exposure to synthetic pesticides and fertilizers used in conventional farming. And I know although we see the word organic on some of these products, it's not really organic.
Okie
What's your
doke.
take on that?
Okie
Yeah.
doke. It's the
Hmm.
okie doke. That's what it is.
Okie doke.
Okie doke.
All right. We have another benefit here of organic eating, better soil health. And we mentioned not all soil is good soil. Organic farming practices promote healthier soil through crop rotation, composing, and reduced chemical inputs. And I know this, I have a friend from Jamaica, his mom, every time she eats banana or she peel yam,
Hmm.
she saves the skin to compose it for her garden. Is that something that you do as well? And maybe I should start doing instead of throwing it in the garbage?
Yes, definitely. I have a something that I figured out with my banana tree. So I have a banana tree and it wasn't producing. So I moved it from one area because I figured the soil wasn't healthy. So I moved it to another area, and my mother, she has every day she'll have like it's like leftover food. Like whoever doesn't eat their food, she puts it in the bag and she buries it at her plant tree. So I was like, you know what, let me try that. So I made rice and peas um like twice in a week, and my kids, they didn't eat it off. So I dug a hole next to my banana tree and I put the rice and peas there, right? Put all like just leftover food there. And in like a month, I saw the sprout of the
Wow.
banana growing from the tree. So,
Wow.
how I look at it is that the trees, they're a living organism like us. They're just not human. So they need the same way that we need nutrition, they need it too.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
whatever
That's
food, your kids don't want to eat, or whatever food you don't want to eat, put in a pile and bury it close to the root of whatever fruit tree you have, and the tree will take all the nutrients from it. The earth will recycle what it doesn't need, and you'll be good with that. So
I
yes.
love
Well,
it.
not
Wow.
not McDonald's food, right?
Oh,
Not
oh,
not
I,
KFC and all that kind of stuff, right?
no, we don't eat McDonald's over here. That's poison. All of that's poison.
All right, home gardening tips. Choose the right location. Select a spot that receives at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. And it's so funny. I have a plant actually right here. And can you see it? Can you see it? And I had to move this pot and it shift. And now all the leaves are just blossoming that way. And, I know it's because of the right location. So if, let's say we purchase a plant, right? If we have it inside, how do you know what's best? Where should you move it? Do you have to, maybe do the history? With fruits, can fruits be grown inside or is it only outside? What does that look like in Birdy's garden?
Um, well, I I plant my seeds like in January, February, like right before spring.
Okay.
And here, living in Florida, they'll start growing. Mother Nature will just have it grow. But I was told this the other day by one of my friends. She said that a plant in the wrong environment is always a weed. So when you have your plants wherever it is, you know, they will communicate with you, like I'm not getting enough water, or the sun, like with the leaves, like it's burning, like it will say like the sun is too hot. So you'll just move it that way. So I just look at my plant to see how it's, performing in the environment I
Progressing.
have it, and then I move it accordingly.
Okay. Good tip.
Mm.
All right. Another home gardening tip: prepare quality soil. Use well draining soil enriched with organic matter, such as compost, just what we were just
Mhm.
talking about. Another home gardening tips: water wisely. Keep the soil consistently moist, but not waterlogged.
Mm.
That's good. And I know sometimes with the color too, right? I know there's apps that you can take a picture and it kind of tell you too much water or a little. I never really paid for that. I just notice if I see yellow, then I slow down on water.
Mhm.
How about you, ladies? I know some of you have plants at home where I know I normally like to get low maintenance.
I have
Low
a
maintenance.
snake plant that's sitting over here in the corner, and when I got it, watered the pot, the plant itself was this tall, about this tall. Right now, from floor, sitting on the floor, it's at my chest when I'm
Oh
standing.
wow.
So
Wow.
it's really tall. So, but I did, snake plants don't require a lot of water. They actually thrive in dry soil. But I made the mistake of overwatering it. And three of them, I literally just plucked it out of the ground because it was overwatered. I was like, no, I know better. So I moved it. Speaking of location, I put it in another place where it doesn't get too much direct light, but just enough. And then making sure that I don't overwater it because it thrives in dry soil. I make sure maybe once every other week I will water it with a 12-ounce bottle of water and let that be that. So and usually it does well with that. So yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, me and my thumbs are purple. I have, and someone gave me this beautiful aloe plant, and it was full. That thing is scrawny now, and
Aw.
that, yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. I did my best, but it's still holding on, so I'm still gonna, you know, I have to. Is it time to repot the plants now?
I was gonna say maybe it needs to be repotted.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna have a sit down. Look, and repot a few of my plants.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
buy plants and then I forget about them, and then they just say, I was like,
Well, just
my heart was in the right place, but my mind wasn't.
well, just remember, the bigger the pot, the bigger the plant. So the roots in the pot that you have, it's probably trying to like stretch out.
Right.
That's why the plant's not growing.
Yeah.
It's the roots.
That's
So
good.
get a big, okay, so I need some bigger pots.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sustainability practices. Compose organic waste. Create a compost pile using kitchen scraps, again, what we were talking about, and yard waste to enrich soil health. Reduce landfill waste and promote beneficial microorganisms in the garden. And we know that plants are living things.
So I was going to say, so would this work with some of your plants?
What do you mean?
Like put some of the compost in your plants?
I put
Yeah. Oh,
eggs
sorry, guys.
even. I'm sorry. No, I do blend eggs and I put some banana peels and I think it's working
Okay.
Mhm.
inside too, indoor.
Winston, what were you gonna say?
No, I was saying that I don't create like a compost pile. I just go out, dig a hole, and I put it at my tree root. I bury it and put it in my tree root. Or like in the spring when the leaves are falling, which is supposed to be fall here, but in the spring when the leaves are falling, I take the leaves and I put it around the tree root also because that helps with the growth as we're
Mm.
going to like spring.
Mm.
But for
And that's
someone that's, let's say, up north, what would
mm,
be the advice if they're doing indoor plants or growing these greens and things inside?
I would do what you do. Take the banana skin, any fruit skin, and blend it with like mix it with the dirt. And
Right.
as long as there's leaves in your community, just grab a few leaves and just start piling it around your plant pot, and it's
I
gonna
never
break
heard
down
that
to
one.
be the dirt. Yeah,
Mm,
because
that's
like the
good.
leaves turn into dirt when it breaks down completely. It turns
Mhm.
into dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. We learned it today.
Yes, you'll learn today. Yes.
I love that. All right, another sustainability practice: use native plants. Select native plants for your garden as they require less water, are more resilient to local pests, and support local wildlife, contributing to biodiversity. I do have a question. I have a friend who has a backyard, and she says some neighborhood cats have been eating her plants. What would be the best? I read even me having a raccoon 2 years ago on my patio, just trying to steal things.
Mhm.
Cayenne pepper, it was said to maybe sprinkle it around the plants, and that would keep them away. What's the best advice I would say to keep these pests and things away?
a thorny plant. So like
Oh,
roses, bougainvilleas. My mother, she has squirrels, so she piles bougainvilleas around her avocado tree, so that like if they step on it, like they avoid that tree.
okay.
But with
Okay.
like cats and even dogs, because I had a neighbor, he's Indian or he's Native American, or his grandmother was like Native American. He said that a lot of what we see as weeds in the ground, they're actually herbs. But there's a disconnect with us knowing what these things are, because every generation they keep things away from us. So if the
Right.
cats are coming in your neighbor's yard and eating the herbs, there's something that they know that it's a herb for them, even though it's a nuisance
Oh,
for us, that they're eating because there's some, whether they have tapeworms in them or something, but that's where
okay.
they're eating it.
That's
Mhm.
good. Wow. Okay.
But bougainvillea, tell it to put like some type of
Bogan,
thorny plant,
Bougainvillea.
and they'll avoid touching it.
Okay. That's good to know. And this is the last for sustainability practices. Implement rainwater harvesting. Install rain barrels to collect rainwater for irrigation purposes, sorry, reducing reliance on municipal water systems and conserving resources. And I know that's something, at least I remember them doing in the Caribbean, having barrels of
Hmm.
rainwater. Yeah, that's good. Good, good. All right, this was awesome. And I mean, our we normally do these points, and then we are very big on affirmations and speaking life to these things that we're talking about. So whether it's changing our thumb from purple to green, we're going to affirm today that we would be able to, as best as we can, grow what we can, but also support you, um, for what we know our body needs.
Hmm.
Well, my affirmation is I feed my body with nourishing foods that fuel my health, enhance my vitality, and support my well being, creating a foundation of strength and vitality.
Healing energy moves through every part of me. I release what no longer serves me and welcome restoration, balance, and joy.
I nurture my body and spirit by growing my own organic food, connecting with the earth, and embracing holistic living. Each bite I take from my garden, I haven't eaten the collard greens yet, but each bite I take from my garden is a step towards vibrant health and well being. And I'll put you on the
Very
spot, Winsome. Do you have an affirmation?
um no. Let me no.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right.
You caught me off guard. You told me where I was
Sorry.
prepared myself.
That's all right. And we do
That
have a
was so
scripture.
wrong, Wilson. I'm with you. What? What are you
I'm
doing?
sorry.
What are you doing?
I eat what I grow. I don't know. A scripture for today. Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which it in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. So basically, eat from the earth.
Hmm.
Eat from the earth.
Excellent.
Over
Oh
to
my
you,
gosh, this
Carrie.
has been such a great episode. Thank you so much, Winsome.
You
Birdy's Garden. Make sure you guys go to her website, check out those tea combinations that she has, the blends that she makes up for you, and check out the other products that she has available too. And sign up for her email list so you can
Yes.
get notifications of when things are available so that you're not trying to order something and get mad because it ain't there. Well, if you stay connected, then you'll know what's there, right?
So the style shop is coming in June.
Yeah.
Exactly.
June. No, mangoes is in June. Um, August, August or September will be soursop,
Okay.
and June plum.
Okay, June plum.
June
Okay.
plum. I
Or
never heard
go
of that, but I
or
want to try them.
yeah, it's also golden apple. So in every
Ooh.
it's every Caribbean island has a different name for it, but the 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 golden apple, it's good for the eyes. So
Mm,
that's a good
yeah.
fruit to incorporate.
Before you leave, since this is, we have mostly women on here,
Hmm.
give us some herb blend that will make us lubricated.
Um, I have I don't know.
Now you put her on the spot. Come on.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I have. Yeah, I
I
have
don't know
really.
what they're doing when some of these
Yeah.
on the spot questions and stuff.
Well, that's another line of business that I should probably look into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was on one of the one of the platforms, and as every other post, they were talking about this gummy that's supposed to make you very hydrated in every part of your body. Might as
Oh
well
yeah.
do it the natural way. So there you go.
I'm gonna look into that. Catch me next year. I might have a line for that.
There you go. There you go. So listen, you guys, thank you, Affirmers, for being here and listening. I pray you learned something new today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our community and supporting. Make sure you make contact with Winsome and her business, and make sure you connect with us. And above all, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. Oh, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on the notification button so you know when we drop a new episode. And as always, you guys, you are your first priority. Act
So
like it.
Like
Act like it. Put yourself first. With that being said, thank you guys for being here. Peace and blessing to you all. Until the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.